Always refer to our verified KYB list when engaging with businesses claiming to be on Pi Mainnet. This ensures your interactions are secure and trustworthy. The Pi core team just issued an urgent security alert that could save you from losing your entire Pi wallet. If you're planning any mainnet transactions, you must watch this video before you make a costly mistake that thousands of pioneers are already making. Before sending any Pi coin or engaging with any service claiming to be mainnet integrated, always consult the official KYB list. This small step could protect you from significant losses, strengthen the ecosystem, and ensure that the world of decentralized commerce remains open, honest, and secure for all. So Pioneer, isn't this a great step forward that the Pi core team continues to take so that we can finally enjoy the services built around this valuable asset we've been mining for so long using our smartphones? Let's now take my time greet and welcoming to the channel my incredible Pioneer family from around the globe. I'm here with breaking news that every single one of our 60 million pioneers worldwide needs to hear immediately. You're in exactly the right place, because today I'm revealing critical information straight from the Pi core team that could be the difference between securing your Pi fortune and losing everything to sophisticated scammers who are actively targeting our community right now. But before we dive into this game-changing information, give me a favor of joining our community by smashing subscribe button and ring notification bell so you never miss update. Also, comment PI Network to the moon along with your country name to show the world how united and strong our Pioneer community really is, because together we build the strongest community defense against scammers and fraudsters. I'm Nathan, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the hidden dangers lurking in the Pi ecosystem that the Pi core team is desperately trying to warn us about. I'll reveal the sophisticated tactics scammers are using to steal Pi from unsuspecting pioneers, show you the exact verification system that separates legitimate businesses from fraudulent operations, and share exclusive insider information about premium features that only verified merchants will access. Plus, I'll give you the step-by-step protection protocol that every serious pioneer must follow. This isn't just news, this is your financial survival guide in the Pi ecosystem. Let's now get started. Here's what's happening behind the scenes that most pioneers don't realize. As the Pi network ecosystem rapidly expands and our native Pi coin gains momentum across global markets, we've reached a pivotal moment in our journey to mainstream adoption. The successful launch of Pi Mainnet marked our transition from experimental testnet to real-world utility, but with this incredible progress comes unprecedented risks that the Pi core team is urgently addressing. The reality is that as more vendors and service providers begin accepting Pi as a legitimate payment method, the digital landscape has become a hunting ground for fraudulent operations and sophisticated impersonators. These aren't amateur scammers we're dealing with. These are organized groups creating convincing fake businesses, professional-looking websites, and even mimicking legitimate company branding to steal Pi from our community members. This is why the Pi core team implemented something called the Know Your Business verification system. And understanding this system isn't optional anymore, it's absolutely essential for your financial survival in the Pi ecosystem. Think of KYB as the business equivalent of the Know Your Customer process that you went through as an individual pioneer. Just as you had to prove your identity and legitimacy to become a verified pioneer, businesses must now undergo rigorous scrutiny to earn official Pi network recognition. The KYB protocol ensures that every business claiming to accept Pi for goods or services meets 3 non-negotiable criteria. They must be legally registered and operating within their jurisdiction with proper documentation and licensing. They must be thoroughly verified by the Pi core team through comprehensive documentation review and due diligence processes that can take weeks to complete. Most importantly, they must demonstrate full compliance with Pi Network's strict policies for safe and ethical transactions that protect our community. Let me paint you a picture of what happens when pioneers skip the verification process, because the consequences are more severe than most people realize. When you fail to verify a business before transacting, you're not just risking a small loss, you're potentially walking into a financial disaster that could wipe out months or even years of mining efforts. Beyond the financial loss, you face the frustration and disappointment of paying for products or services that will never materialize. But the damage goes deeper than individual losses. Every successful scam undermines the trust and credibility of our entire Pi network ecosystem, potentially slowing down adoption and hurting the value of Pi for all 60 million of us. This is why the Pi core team considers verification not just a personal safety measure, but a community responsibility that affects every single pioneer. Protecting yourself is actually incredibly simple when you know the exact process, and I'm going to walk you through every single step so you never fall victim to these sophisticated scams. The official KYB directory is accessible directly through your Pi browser or the official Pi network app, and this directory contains comprehensive information about every single Pi verified merchant, including their exact business names, specific categories of goods or services, precise geographic locations, and verified contact information. Here's your foolproof protection protocol that takes less than 1 minute but could save you thousands of Pi coins. Open your Pi browser application and navigate directly to the KYB section, or simply search for KYB directory in the search bar. Enter the exact business name or search by geographic region to locate the verification status immediately. This is crucial. You must ensure the business name matches exactly character by character, because impersonators deliberately use nearly identical branding with subtle differences to deceive unsuspecting pioneers. If a business doesn't appear in the official directory, then regardless of what they claim about being Pi verified or Pi approved, they are not legitimate Pi network partners. This rule has no exceptions, no matter how professional their website looks or how convincing their marketing materials appear. Now here's the exciting insider information that most pioneers don't know about, and this is where the real opportunity lies for those who understand the bigger picture. According to recent statements from Pi core team leaders, KYB verification isn't just a current security measure. It's the foundation for the entire future structure of the Pi ecosystem. The businesses that get verified now are positioning themselves to be first in line for revolutionary features that will transform how Pi commerce operates globally. KYB-approved businesses will gain exclusive integration access to the Pi Commerce API, which will enable seamless checkout experiences using Pi Coin that rival traditional payment systems like PayPal or Stripe. They'll receive priority access to marketing resources and premium visibility within the Pi browser and official app, giving them massive competitive advantages over non-verified competitors. These verified businesses will also earn eligibility for community-led endorsements and official trust badges that immediately signal credibility to potential customers. This strategic vetting system perfectly aligns with evolving global compliance standards that are becoming increasingly strict for cryptocurrency commercial use. As governments worldwide implement tighter regulations for digital currency transactions, Pi Network's proactive KYB approach ensures we remain compliant, scalable, and positioned for massive institutional adoption. The Pi core team's vision extends far beyond simple peer-to-peer transactions. They're architecting a completely decentralized global marketplace where individuals and businesses can interact directly without traditional financial intermediaries like banks or payment processors. This revolutionary concept can only succeed with an absolutely secure infrastructure foundation, and that foundation starts with the trust established through KYB verification. By maintaining rigorous KYB standards, Pi Network continues growing responsibly while preparing for integration across major economic sectors, including retail chains, hospitality networks, transportation systems, and even healthcare providers. For businesses, KYB verification represents early access to an innovative payment system that could process billions of dollars in transactions. For us as pioneers, It guarantees protection and security in every single transaction we make. As the utility of PiCoin expands across diverse economic sectors, your individual actions directly impact the success and security of our entire 60 million member community. The pioneers who master these security tools and verification processes now will be the ones best equipped to thrive when the Pi economy reaches full mainstream realization. Never send Pi to any unverified business regardless of their promises or apparent legitimacy. Immediately report any suspicious activity through the Pi Network Help Center or official community channels where the security team can investigate and protect other pioneers. They could invest 0.3 Pi in new on-chain projects or tokens that are being built specifically for the Pi ecosystem. 0.1 Pi might go toward Web3 investments or fractional ownership platforms that are creating new asset classes. 0.25 Pi could purchase gold, land, or real estate tokens denominated in Pi, creating a diversified portfolio within the ecosystem. Finally, 0.1 Pi might be held as a long-term digital asset for future opportunities. Under this structure, each Pi spent contributes to what economists call a circular digital economy. The value remains inside the system because the seller uses their Pi to acquire necessities or investments within the Pi network rather than converting to fiat and bleeding value out of the ecosystem. This is the genius of the global consensus value model. It creates economic incentives for value to stay internal, which strengthens the entire network. A seller will only agree to these dollar-denominated transactions of 1 Pi if they believe they can convert it to equal value within the ecosystem. If they require fiat currency for their needs, they face 3 options. Decline to accept Pi altogether, set a higher listing such as 2 Pi to offset perceived liquidity risk, or convert the Pi to fiat, which disrupts the global consensus value model by externalizing value and undermining future parity. This is why global consensus value only works effectively when value circulates internally, fueling merchant adoption, real-world utility, and decentralized finance tools. Every time someone breaks the chain by converting to fiat, they weaken the system for everyone else. But every time someone keeps their Pi internal, they strengthen the entire network. If more developers, agents, and landowners join Pi's ecosystem, the real estate possibilities expand exponentially. The future we're building could see fractional homeownership denominated in Pi, allowing people to own pieces of properties they could never afford traditionally. We're talking about land sales using Pi DeFi tools and smart contracts that eliminate the need for traditional title companies and banks. Construction financing could happen via Pi-based collateral or loans, cutting out the middlemen who extract massive fees from every transaction. We might even see Pi real estate tokens, or PRTs, for community investments into property, where entire neighborhoods could be funded and owned collectively by Pi holders. In this vision, real estate becomes part of an evolving utility-backed economy where Pi transcends cryptocurrency and functions as broad financial infrastructure that replaces traditional banking systems. Several conditions must be in place for this model to function at scale. Major infrastructure growth is essential, meaning real estate agents and developers must be on board and able to reinvest their Pi earnings within the network. Without this professional adoption, the system can't handle large-scale property transactions. Demand within the ecosystem must be robust, requiring a healthy marketplace for assets beyond property. People need places to spend their Pi on everything from groceries to luxury goods. KYC and market stability require compliance, anti-fraud measures, and internal money flows that are well established. We're dealing with hundreds of thousands of dollars per transaction, so security cannot be an afterthought. Price transparency is crucial because exchanges should not influence global consensus value pricing. If speculative behavior on external platforms distorts internal valuations, the entire model collapses. Without these elements working together, a house for 1 Pi scenario remains theoretical. Demand from outside markets or liquidity needs could derail the global consensus value model before it reaches critical mass. The Pi core team and community pilots have found global consensus value-based transactions feasible in practice. Sellers are seeing Pi used for cars, real estate, and other high-value purchases, though alignment of expectations between buyers and sellers is crucial for success. These aren't isolated incidents or publicity stunts. They're real transactions happening within the Pi ecosystem right now. Critics worry that global consensus value only works under controlled conditions, out of sight from broader market forces. They point to cross-economy arbitrage, where Pi is valued lower on exchanges as a potential destabilizer of internal rates. This is a legitimate concern that the Pi network community is actively addressing through education and ecosystem development. Proponents argue it's about building trust before liquidity. By locking value into the system and delivering real services, global consensus value could mature into a long-standing internal standard while exchange listing is handled separately. This approach prioritizes utility over speculation, which is the opposite of how most cryptocurrencies operate. Actively educate fellow pioneers about KYB verification importance, because community knowledge is our strongest defense against sophisticated scams. Pioneer family, this information isn't just news, it's your survival guide in the rapidly evolving Pi ecosystem. The digital currency landscape moves fast, but security must always be your absolute priority. As Pi Network continues onboarding real-world use cases and preparing for open mainnet, remember that due diligence isn't optional, it's your personal responsibility as a pioneer. Before sending any Pi coin or engaging with any service claiming mainnet integration, always consult the official KYB directory first. This simple 30-second step could protect you from devastating losses, strengthen our entire ecosystem, and ensure the decentralized commerce revolution remains secure and trustworthy for all 60 million pioneers worldwide. If this critical information helped protect your Pi wealth, smash that like button right now, and let's get this life-saving message to every pioneer who needs it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I'm constantly monitoring Pi network developments to bring you the most important updates first. Share this video with every pioneer in your network, because together we build the strongest community defense against scammers and fraudsters. Drop your comment with Pi network to the moon and your country, and let me know, have you checked the KYB directory yet? Are you taking these security measures seriously? Remember, pioneers, we're not just building individual wealth, we're creating the future of global commerce together. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep building our Pi empire. I'll see you in the next update.